Okay, let's cut the fluff. You've been ignored. You've tried the nice guy approach, the begging, the chasing, and it got you nowhere. In fact, it probably made things worse. You feel invisible, maybe even disrespected. And the truth is, right now, her ego is probably on a pedestal, built on your frustration. But what if you could completely flip that dynamic? What if you could make her wonder why she ever ignored you in the first place? This isn't about playing games or being mean. It's about reclaiming your power, understanding female psychology at a deeper level, and implementing a proven strategy that will absolutely dismantle that pedestal. In the next few minutes, we're going to show you exactly how to act when a woman ignores you. And yes, it will likely destroy her ego in the process. Stick around, because if you've ever felt overlooked, this is the most important video you'll watch today. Look, I get it. Being ignored by someone you're interested in is incredibly frustrating. It hits you on a fundamental level. It makes you question yourself, your worth, and your appeal. You start overthinking every interaction, every message, every subtle cue. You ask your friends for advice, you read articles online, and you probably get the same tired old platitudes. Just be yourself. Move on. She's not worth it. And while there's some truth to those, they don't address the immediate pain of feeling dismissed. They don't give you a concrete plan of action in that moment. You feel like you're in a power imbalance, and guess what? You are. But that doesn't mean you have to stay there. This isn't about changing her, it's about fundamentally changing your approach, and more importantly, your mindset. Let's talk about this controversial title. Destroy her ego. What do I mean by that? I'm not advocating for psychological warfare or causing genuine harm. What I mean is dismantling the inflated sense of self-importance that often comes with being pursued and knowing you have someone's attention, even if you're not giving them yours. When a woman ignores you, her ego gets a little boost. She knows you're there, potentially chasing, and that validates her. Our goal is to remove that validation, shift the focus entirely, and make her feel the slight discomfort of not being the center of attention in your world. The traditional advice tells you to try harder, to prove your worth. That's exactly what feeds that ego. It confirms that you're readily available and deeply invested, even when you're receiving nothing in return. Our approach is the opposite. It's about strategically withdrawing your attention, your validation, and your energy. It's counterintuitive, I know, but it's based on fundamental principles of human psychology. The first pillar, the silent treatment. The first, and arguably most crucial pillar of this strategy is strategic silence. And I don't just mean not texting her back immediately. I mean a complete, deliberate withdrawal of your attention. If you've been reaching out, checking her stories, liking her posts, that stops now. Completely. Think of it like this. You've been offering a constant supply of validation and she's gotten used to it. When you suddenly cut off that supply, it creates a void. Initially, she might not even notice. She might be genuinely busy, or she might be testing you. But if you remain silent and consistent in your silence, it will eventually register. This isn't passive aggression. This is active, strategic detachment. You are choosing to invest your energy elsewhere. This sends a powerful message without you having to say a single word. My availability is not unconditional. My attention is a privilege, not a given. How long do you do this? There's no magic number, but it needs to be long enough to break the pattern of your previous behavior. Weeks, not days. During this time, you are absolutely forbidden from checking up on her directly or indirectly. No asking mutual friends, no lurking on social media. This is about your mental fortitude as much as it is about influencing her. The second pillar, reclaiming your value. While you're implementing the strategic silence, you are not just sitting around waiting. This is where the real power shift happens. The second pillar is all about reclaiming your value and focusing on yourself. Why did she feel comfortable ignoring you in the first place? Likely because she perceived a lack of options or confidence on your part. We're going to change that perception, not by telling her, but by showing her indirectly. Invest in yourself. Hit the gym. Work on your career. Pursue your hobbies with passion. Expand your social circle. Go out and genuinely enjoy your life. The goal is to become a person whose time and attention are clearly valuable and in demand. Now here's where the indirect part comes in. You don't need to be actively posting, "Look how great my life is now," every 5 seconds. But as you genuinely improve your life and build social proof, pictures with friends, achievements, engaging in interesting activities, the universe has a funny way of making that visible. Maybe a mutual friend mentions something. Maybe she sees a tagged photo. Maybe she just feels the shift in your energy if you happen to cross paths. When she eventually notices your absence and then sees evidence of your thriving life without her constant attention, it creates a psychological paradox. Why is he okay? Why isn't he chasing me? What am I missing out on? This is where her ego starts to take a hit. The third pillar, strategic re-engagement. Okay, you've been silent, you've been focusing on yourself, and maybe, just maybe, you've started to see some subtle signs that she's noticing your absence. This is the point where many guys mess up. They see a flicker of interest and rush back in, undoing all their progress. Don't be that guy. The third pillar is strategic re-engagement, and it's absolutely critical that you do this on your terms and with a clear purpose, not out of desperation. The goal is not to pick up where you left off. The goal is to re-establish a dynamic where your time is valuable and her attention is earned. How do you re-engage? It should be brief, low investment, and not about rehashing the past. A simple, non-needy message related to something mutual or a casual observation. Something like, "Hey, saw that article about X. Reminded me of that conversation we had." Or, "Quick question about why, if you have a sec." Keep it light, keep it confident, and keep it short. If she responds positively, great. Keep the interaction concise and then gracefully exit. Don't engage in long back-and-forth conversations immediately. You are still in control of the pacing. The key here is to show that you are open to interaction, but not dependent on it. You are extending an invitation, not begging for attention. If she responds negatively or is still distant, that's also information. It means she's either still testing you or genuinely not interested. In that case, you revert back to pillar 1. The silence continues until she makes a more significant effort. This is where you need to be patient and disciplined. If your strategies are working, you're likely to enter what I call the test phase. This is where she starts to subtly, or not so subtly, try to regain the control she's lost. She might send a breadcrumb text, "Hey, how are you?" with no real follow-up. She might like an old social media post. She might appear more frequently in places where she knows you'll be. These are tests to see if you're still available, still eager to jump at her attention. How do you pass the test? By remaining consistent with your new behavior. Respond to the breadcrumb text politely, but without excessive enthusiasm or lengthy replies. A simple, "Hey, doing well, hope you are too," is sufficient. Don't immediately engage in a full conversation. Don't react dramatically to her social media activity. Acknowledge it internally, but don't give her the satisfaction of knowing you're still obsessing over her online presence. Your goal in this phase is to be present, but not overly available. You are a confident individual with a life, not someone who's been waiting by the phone. This subtle resistance to her attempts to re-establish the old dynamic is what truly starts to destroy her ego. It tells her that the old rules no longer apply and that she needs to make a genuine effort to connect with you. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, isn't this just playing games? Isn't this manipulative? And it's a valid concern. Let's be clear. The The goal here is not to intentionally hurt someone or lead them on. The goal is to reestablish a healthy power dynamic where both individuals are equally invested and respectful. If a woman is consistently ignoring you, she is implicitly communicating her level of interest and respect. By withdrawing your attention, you are simply mirroring that level of investment. You are setting a boundary and saying, "My time and energy are valuable, and I will not spend them on someone who doesn't value them in return." This is about self-respect. It's about demonstrating that you have options and that you won't settle for being an afterthought. If, after applying these strategies, she still shows no genuine interest or respect, then the strategy has served its purpose. It has revealed the truth of the situation, and you can then confidently move on, knowing you didn't waste your time chasing someone who wasn't interested in the first place. This isn't about making someone fall in love with you through trickery. It's about creating a situation where genuine connection becomes possible or recognizing when it's not. Let's quickly break down the psychological triggers we've been leveraging here, because understanding why this works is key to implementing it effectively. 1. Scarcity. When something is readily available, we often undervalue it. When you become less available, your perceived value increases. Basic supply and demand applied to human attention. 2. Loss aversion. People are more motivated by the fear of losing something they had, your attention validation, than by the prospect of gaining something new. When you withdraw, you create the potential for loss, which can trigger her to reevaluate. 3. Curiosity. Your sudden change in behavior sparks curiosity. She'll wonder why you stopped, what you're doing, and why you don't seem to need her validation anymore. 4. Social proof. Indirect. As you focus on yourself and your life improves, the social proof you accumulate, even indirectly, subtly communicates your desirability to others, which can make her see you in a new light. By deliberately activating these triggers, you are subtly but powerfully shifting the dynamic in your favor. You're not forcing her to do anything, but you're creating a situation that makes her reconsider her initial behavior. So, you have a choice. You can continue doing what hasn't been working, continue feeling frustrated and ignored, or you can implement these strategies and reclaim your power. This isn't just about one woman. It's about changing your approach to dating and relationships entirely. It's about building self-respect and demanding to be treated with value. If you found this information valuable, and I know you did, here's what I need you to do right now. First, hit that like button. Seriously, it takes 2 seconds, and it tells YouTube this video is resonating, which helps other guys who are going through the same thing find it. Second, and this is crucial for virality, share this video. Think of a friend who's been in this exact situation and needs to hear this. Send it to him. Be the guy who helps his friends level up. Third, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. What was your biggest takeaway from this video? What questions do you still have? I'll be in the comments section engaging with you. Your comments are gold, they fuel the algorithm and build our community. Fourth, if you're serious about mastering these dynamics and taking control of your dating life, you absolutely must subscribe to this channel. Hit the subscribe button right now, and don't forget the notification bell so you don't miss my future videos, where I dive even deeper into topics like this. Implementing these strategies takes discipline, but the results are undeniable. Stop chasing, start attracting, reclaim your power, and watch the dynamic completely change. You got this. Now go make it happen.